Okay, we're gonna start off with the samurai balls. Our keepsake we want to start with is Lands Between Rune. Um, that becomes important right at the beginning. Our runes are the runes that we pick up and the runes that we spend are very exact to get everything we need and minimize the amount of runes that we would lose when we bone out at one point to save on some time. So I like taking everything off. Obviously, if you want to put weapons in whatever hand you want, I do it in kind of a specific way, just based on kind of what I've liked in the for the past couple of years here. While we're kind of getting started here, some of the basic ideas for the run is we don't really care specifically what levels we get to as far as strength. We are going to end up maxing out our number of levels, even with this kind of minimalist amount of rune pickup. So we are going to max out the max damage for the weapons that we can by the second to last boss. Um, and then also the only other levels we really care about are getting the faith to run, um, to use flame grabbing strength. Hey, Lang, doing a little bit of that recording right now. Hope you're doing well, dude. All right, so I like to pop the runes on the elevator. And then we're going to make our way to the church here. We want to pick up the runes that are right in front of the church as well. Again, each one of the rune pickups is fairly, at the beginning here, is fairly um, structured, and there's a reason behind grabbing it. This will give us enough runes to buy everything we need leading up to the Beast Torch and have just enough money for the Beast Torch. So in Church of Ella, there is a smithing 1 right here. We grab that. Talk to Kale. We're going to buy the 3 cracked pots and the craft pit. You can just jump out here. Grab this mushroom while you're there. Mushrooms are helpful because we're going to be using those to help craft our sleep pots. And then the other thing we're going to want to grab is the kukris up here in front of this. You can kill this guy if you feel like it, but there's really no reason to. He can't get up in time. You just pick him up and run past. And we're not going to get our grace at gate front. We're going to get a Geel Lake North instead. This is important for kind of efficiency's sake, because this gives us a point to go get determination, to go to kill patches, and to get to Stormhill Shack from here. We make our way over and get the Grace and get Torrent.
They sir, but you, I can turning to aid you. You need own to the foot. Then it summon me. Ah, I bequeath. Use it. It will some torrent. Treat him with.
All right, and the first thing we're gonna get is the flail, and then the whetstone. So I aim like right at the wheel on the carriage, jump off, crouch, because we want to give the guy to the left some time to path. Just unsheath that one guy, because he will see us here, but nothing really he can do. Grab the flail. We're gonna use that to get the iron balls. And hop back on Torrent. Head into this little cellar here. And we have a whetstone knife that allows us to change our Ashes of War at the Graces, which is very helpful. All right, so now you're going to want to make your way up to Stormhill Shack. You can run through, like straight through the camp there, but the guy will blow his horn, and it actually causes the guys in this little ravine past the gate to activate a little bit earlier. So it kind of throws kind of stuff off from what normally used to. So just run around. It's not too big of a time loss there. Usually some mushrooms right there. Go ahead and grab those. We have our golden seed up here, and then our next 3 smithing stones are over here. You need to get 12 smithing 1s and 12 smithing 2s to pick up during this setup. Usually another mushroom or 2 right there. And grab the Stormhill Grace. Yes, indeed. Okay, now we're going to grab the strength tier right here. So you just kind of head straight up this way. I usually run through the troll's legs because they kind of just ends up at the right spot. There's nothing he really does. He always screams first, like that. You just run through, grab this, and then drop down, and drop down. And head directly southeast. We're going to grab the War Master Site of Grace. From there, we're going to head up and kill the knight that drops Golden Vow, which is going to be one of our main buffs for this run. One of 3 buffs that we'll be using. So the strat for this guy is if you just hug the side here, go up and where you're kind of with him and then jump off. I did that a little wrong there, but didn't really matter. Jumped a little too far, but you can kind of go up right behind him like that. Oh, we got Partisan. How about that? Then you drop down 2 levels here. And then you can just drop down right here. It's actually, you take no damage from the fall there. All right, now we're going to light the Saints Bridge Site of Grace. And while I'm doing this, I'm starting to look at where that Pumpkinhead guy is. You can see he's a little bit further kind of left. Now he's going further left. So I'm keeping an eye on that because he does have, his head slam does have an AoE stagger. You want to avoid that. So I'm kind of watching to see which side he's on and then go to the opposite side. Then there's 2 more smithing 1s there. We're going to talk to this guy. Buy all of his smithing 1s and the cracked pot. And you'll see we are at 944 runes. So while I'm going this way, we're going to pop that other rune that we got. And that's going to put us at 1300. The beast torch costs 1200. I'd like to go straight up here, jump over here. There are 3 Trina's Lilies here, and miss 1. So for this drop, I kind of just go to like the lowest point, drop off, and then as soon as you land, you can actually just jump. And you will not take enough damage to die, but then I heal, use all my healing pots. So I grab that rune, jump on here, grab that, this one, and this one. Those are the only ones that are really worth picking up. The other ones are such small amounts of runes that it's not really necessary. If you really want them, by all means. Now again, we're going to Third Church, which is going to be one of our graces that we come back to a couple times. Like jumping through this window, grabbing the sacred tear, grabbing the flask, and grabbing the grace. Now this is where, for this specific run, which is meant to be as safe as possible, normally I would go straight to Fort Height and just do the run through straight there, which I do in a lot of runs, but this is going to be like end of a long marathon. I need to get this run on this attempt. We're going to make it even safer. So we're going to grab the beast torch actually before, and we're going to arrow down the guys in Fort Height. So instead of going towards Fort Height, we're going to go towards Rotview. and do our things in Kaled first. I'm not going to check the time yet until we are at, like, going up almost to the deck disgrace, which we should be at, like, right at 25 minutes. So grab this grace because we're going to come back here later. And let's head to get the beast torch. This is like another area where you can pop that rune if you want to, because there's nothing really that's going to attack us, and we're on fairly flat terrain. Hop over. We're going to grab this grace up here because we're going to port back to it right after buying the beast torch. To head to Port Farah. So again, in this part, I kind of follow this line, and as I get through, I'm starting to look at where there's 3 Tyrannosaurus dogs here. So there's one right to our right here. Make sure he doesn't see us, because they will follow us. There's one to the right there, and there's one to the left there. So all of them are fairly in a bad position, so you just kind of want to make sure you're not aggroing them, because they can't hit you while you're talking to this guy. So we got the beast torch. Perfect. We had just enough runes, and then port back. Maybe. Diablo, how's it going? Okay. While we're running up here, we're going to put on all of our clothes that we started with, because couple of the enemies in Fort Farah will attempt to poison us, so having a little bit more resist is helpful. And we're going to equip the beast torch. I just follow this kind of smoldering wall here. To our right, just here, there are some 7 and 8s on top of there, smithing 7 and 8s. You want to grab them, you can. I just buy them all. Again, we are not hurting for runes on this run at all after like the first 20 minutes. So we can just buy them all. We don't need to collect any. I always do 2 here. Hits on the wall just to get them over. And then as I enter, crouch, and I just hug the wall. Again, you can run through if you want, but we're talking ultra safety. Just keep crouch running. When I get to the bottom of the stairs, I block, cancel, and jump up. You can see we get a little bit of poison, but nowhere near enough to proc. Even without the clothes on, it's just fine, but if you want to just be extra safe, you can. All right, so our first deck is half right there. Then we're going to go down and grab a rune and the sword seal. We're going to use the sword seal as our kind of our third talisman on this run. Big rune there. For this rat, just stay to the left of him. You don't want to try to jump over him, because sometimes he will he can fall on you. Okay, so back to Third Church. Now we're gonna head to Farah. You can take all these off. You can go ahead and equip the sword seal so we can have a little bit of extra stamina while we're running around. first thing we're gonna grab on our way is the what's it called? Stone spiked cracked tier. It increases the damage of our charge attacks. Then we're gonna make our way over here to where this bear is. And this is the kind of the path that I take to grab the lilies that are around him. So crouch down, and then you can kind of crouch sprint. So grab that one, grab that one, grab that one. The key is you don't want to go behind him. Directly behind him is where he wakes up. So grab those two, and then drop down, and he won't wake up. If for some reason he wakes up, do not try to salvage it in here. Grab the axe talisman and just bone back to third church, and then come back this way. Because he has a scream attack that as soon as you try to sprint out of there with torrent, he will hit you. And another reason why we only have 144 runes at this point, because it's not going to be a loss if we need to bone out of there. All right, so let's get out our bow, and we're going to go through fort. So we're going to jump up here, jump up here. This line is completely safe. Just go straight through these trees, aimed right at this one, and grab the seed while you're going past. There's 3 guys we're going to kill. We're going to jump up this way first. Off. I use the fire arrows because why not? So those 2 guys, we have the beast torch, so the rats will not bother us. Jump up here. Jump up here at the top of this first set. The other one's gonna appear. Kill him. Now we're home free. Okay, park. And then we are done. We are heading to Liurnia from here. So back to Stormhill Shack. Switch this back over to here, 'cause this is where I like to have the bow. So it is nighttime, so if we run straight through this area, there are some bats there, so just hug the wall and jump up this way. They will never aggro to you. Be careful of squirrels in your way, trying to get a fast time. There are a bunch of wolves up here, but since we have the beast torch, they will not do anything. Again, there's a skip right here to the right, down to like the bottom level. But since we are all about safety and no extra risks, we're just going to take the long way. So in Liurnia, our main focus is getting 12 smithing 2s. And getting the Raya questline done so that we can get Gambit. As you can see right now, we are at 9 smithing 1s. This the vendor right up here sells smithing 1s and smithing 2s, so we're going to buy those from him. So to do that, we do need to pop one more rune. We're going to pop this one, because that is enough to buy the rest of them. So 3 of these, and then all 3 of these. Oh, thanks, Byron. Okay, so one thing we are going to grab here is the Faith Talisman, where you're going to swap our talismans after we buff for Margit and Godric before we get Godric's Great Rune. I actually don't think you even need Godric's Great Rune for this run, but I figured a free 40 levels is not too bad. So grab the Two Fingers Heirloom. That gives us 5 extra levels of Faith. And straight out, jump over that. Sometimes there's usually a guy there with a torch. So to avoid that, just jump over there. We're going to go over here and take the teleporter. And grab the Grace here. Because we're going to port back here a couple times. And one thing I forgot to do, want to equip your kukris. We go around this way. We're going to get our first set of smithing 2s pickups. Come around here. Nobody will aggro. You'll be fine. Jump on the house here. You can see there's a crab down there. We're just going to stand kind of right here. Throw a kukri. He's going to get attracted to it. Jump off. Grab them here. Go behind him. And out. And we're going to head south from here. Until we see the gazebo. That's our goal here. There are some lobsters that are asleep. They will not wake up. Come up here. Let's mount off the torrent. Grab them and back out. Straight out. And then head this way. Make sure to equip your flail. Right by this tree in front of me, there are 3 Trina's lilies. Grab all 3 of those. Hop off. Roll through these so they're not in the way. 1 R1, and then we're just going to hold L2, lock on, and continue walking into him. You do want to make sure that you keep walking into him, so otherwise he can get out of the attack. Okay, now we got it. We got Raya's necklace, too. So it should now just have turned daytime. If we were a little bit faster, the Deathbird would appear. But we were like perfect timing that it was night. It was night as we were approaching there, and then it's daytime there, so it doesn't even spawn. Now we're gonna talk to Raya twice. He's gonna ask us for the necklace. And then we're going to give her the necklace.
Thank you. Did I forget? I see you are very.
And then we're just waiting for her to give us the invitation. And then we port back to south, the last Grace we were at. Okay. Last set of smithing 2s. And then our way to Alta. So when you're making that jump, just run into the... Start by running into the railing first. You don't want to jump, land on the railing, and then fall off. Because that is actually enough height to kill you. But if you just run into it, it's fine. If you don't get far enough out. Okay, we go in there, we grab those smithing 2s. And now... Make sure to get out of there pretty quick because you'll aggro those flowers and they'll shoot at you. Now you'll see we have 12 smithing 1s and 12 smithing 2s. Alright, so we're going over here to get kukris and to get the key to the academy. Go up here, jump off. You're going to land right on him. Grab him, port back. Yes, Miro. Just a quick one. Not too in-depth. And now we can make our way through the academy here. There's no reason to go to EG on this run. Now I understand that there are other Trina's Lilies over there, but we are picking up 13 Trina's Lilies, and you should only need 12 for this run. And that is with some ultra safe strats. So if you wanted to get some extras for safety, you could always go that way and grab those from EG, like past EG, I guess. Or you could buy them from the merchant close to Fort Height, but should not be needed. Sacred Tier. As I said, we haven't checked the time yet, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be right at about 25 minutes heading up to Dectus. We're going to grab this is where we're going to use our rune arc. Grab these here. You can also just take this way. I know people always like to jump up the rocks. You can just run like that, and that guy will never hit you. All right, once we get to the doorway, we'll check the time. Maybe just under 25 minutes. $25.04. A little bit slower than I thought. Okay, you see Raya is there. We will come back to her in a moment. We're going to grab the Altus Plateau Grace. Then make our way up to the capital. We start off every run with cheesing DTS, because that's where all of our runes are to get started, to buy everything we need, level up our weapon, level up ourselves to what we need, and to kill the first couple bosses. All the runes you need. Grab a couple more mushrooms. That are always just laying there. There are a number of different paths you can kind of take up through this. Mr. Witty actually has a way of like no aggroing them, but I like to cut in here and go up. Yeah, this is the Iron Balls route. I do have one for the Bloody Helix as well, but I wanted to make this because I know it's kind of the more popular one. I wanted to show kind of how efficient you can be while still destroying everything in the game. So you just run past these guys, they will eventually de-aggro. Grab those 2 golden seeds, grab this, because this is where we're going to bone back to. Okay, so where we're heading to now is to get the bell bearing that will allow us to buy smithing 3s and 4s. We're not going to pick up any more smithing stones the rest of the run. We're just going to buy them all. I still like to use the katana on this. I think it's because if you use the iron balls, I think at RL1, it's not enough to like one-shot this guy. So I know that the katana is, or the Uchi katana is good enough. So drop down here, crouch, run around, sneak up on this guy. Backstab him. Sometimes he drops kukris. Nope. No luck today. Grab this and just bone back. We lost 1,800 runes, but it does not matter. Because otherwise you have to run all the way out to port back because it's a dungeon or whatever. All right, Uchi, you have done your job. Unequip it. This path is completely safe. That guy will never hit you. A lot of times he doesn't even aggro like this. Grab these. Golden seeds. And again, we are going to grab a safety grace in case our DTS cheese does not work. If the strat fails right at the start, again, don't mess around. Don't try to salvage it. You're just going to get in trouble. Just bone back here and go and approach again. Whole reason for grabbing this grace. This is a rune 7, I believe. Yep. So grab that. And then right in here, there's a bunch of mushrooms. 8 of them. So that's all we need for the rest of the run. You can go ahead and craft 4 of those. We actually only need 4 ever at one point. At one time. I'm going to pick up the extra 2 cracked pots. Again, just for safety. But you only need 4 for this run at any one time. Okay. So for the DTS cheese, we do a version, kind of like a modified version that Mouse in a Tutu strategy he came up with. So full credit to Mouse in a Tutu, an incredible find. It is one where we don't need to use any kukris. We don't need to parry. We just need to walk a specific path. So when we come up here, again, I am looking forward and looking at where that golem is. The golem in front of us to our left can, every once in a while, aggro to you, and he's waiting right there as you jump up, and he will hit you. I have lost runs to that. And okay, so we jump off. I like to go to this specific patch of grass and just wait for him to aggro, turn around. We walk directly to this bald patch of grass, turn right, up, and we kind of follow this rock along here. Up to the top here. Wait till DTS gets about halfway across that rock there. Crouch, and then walk over here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sneak behind. We're going to lock on, not get too close, and then just right of his tail. So we want to wait for him to start that. Got it a little bit weird there. We want to make sure that he starts that animation because it takes him so long to do that we can get 3 charged R2s in time. And there we go. We have first boss done, 32 minutes, and we have a lot of the map unlocked. So this should be just under an hour 40 in game time. Hey, Sucks. Good to see you. All right, so now we're going to do our first trip to Round Table. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Twin Maidens. Turn in the bell bearings, buy some stuff. So 12 of these, 12 of these. I like to buy the dagger, the rapier, and the finger seal. By the dagger, by the rapier for Gambit. You can just use the Uchi if you want, but the Uchi is a little bit heavier. And since we're running around with Blue Dancer, I like to have as least amount of weight as possible. All right. So we're gonna level our iron balls up to 12. Okay. Now we're gonna put the Golden Vow on the dagger. We're gonna sell our runes. All right. We're gonna level up. We're gonna give 2 faith, 15 endurance, and then we're gonna level up until we have right around 12,000 runes. We want to keep 12,000 runes left. So it usually ends up at level 22 for strength. But we want to make sure we're right around 12,000. We need 12,500 runes. Sorry, 12,600 runes to buy some stuff. But we're going to get a few more. Do 4 and 4. Strength tier and charge tier. And then we're going back to Aguil Lake North. Because we're going to get determination. Maybe on the next guide. Yeah. All right, so we're going to get determination. We're going to get determination to ensure a very easy kill on Bernal and a 2-shot on Gideon. But we're going to use it for a few other things just because we have it. But those are the main 2 reasons. So you want to lock on. It does take 2 R1, so get up next to it. R1, R1, and port back. It does park. All right, so now we're going to go kill Patches. Again, just keep the beast torch on your back while you're running around. Don't have to worry about anything. All right, we're going to spawn in Nergis and then despawn him. So for maximum efficiency, I run back until I get to like right at this bush. Then I walk, invades, and is returned right away. Again, this is a little bit out of order of what I would probably normally do it, but we're here, so efficiency's sake, not having Gambit yet, you just need to make sure to hug the wall down here to not aggro the boys. So just as soon as you drop down here, you can crouch, just hug the wall. Those guys don't aggro. They do. I'm pretty sure they have like rocks that they'll throw. So you want to be careful. All right. I also like to just destroy these 2 benches so they're not in my way just in case. I just go ahead and buff for this because why not? And we're just going to bait out the spit attack and run up and backstab it.
The gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin.
Run back. And wait for a second one. He did it right away, but I couldn't see. And charge R2. And now we're going from here to War Master.
What a shit show.
All right. So we're going to arrive at War Master. We're going to put determination on the iron balls. Again, maximum safety. I just do a standard. Standard is actually a little bit more damage. So then we just go up to Bernal. We tap R2. 352. We need to keep it under 400. So this works out really well. Then we're going to full buff. with determination and one shot him. Now to Altus.
Be certain. The volcano manor awaits you.
We're gonna get Gambit, and we're gonna. So now we can. The reason why we saved the runes that we did, so that we have enough to buy Gambit, no skill, and Margit's Shackle, and it minimizes the trips back to the round table because we're gonna be able to buy those right after
I will
going to Volcano Manor. Yeah, so just go up here, talk to her, receive the key, and now we will be able to buy it at round table with Bernal's bell bearing. Okay. Give her batches and Bernal, so we buy no skill and Assassin's Gambit. And then we buy Margit Shackle. And now to Rodview. Sit at the Grace, put Gambit and no skill on. No skill on the torch is really nice because you can keep it in your left hand, and since there's no skill on it, you can use the Ash of War in your right hand. Go up here and re-gambit. Kind of follow this line because we don't want to aggro that archer because he has an insane amount of range for his rain of arrows. So Gambit wears off. We re-gambit, and then they can't hear us, so you can just run up, just hugging the wall, grab Flame Grip Instinct, and hop on the horse. Now we're going to make our way to get Cragblade and to grab the Grace right by Radon. We do almost all the setup, so the setup was going to take about 45 minutes, and then the rest of the run about 50 minutes. Re-gambit. We need to kill this guy. You don't necessarily have to, but I like to crouch here. The guy will turn if you just run past, but he won't actually see you. And just wait here. Re-gambit. As this guy comes even with us, then we just walk and take the teleporter to the Great Bridge. All right, cross back over the bridge, grab the Grace, and we're gonna get Cragblade, which is our main Ash of War that we're gonna use. provides a buff to both poise damage and actual damage. It's actually insane. Grab this grace. I like to just jump over this way. Port back. We're going to go grab the Grace by Radon and then go get our main 2 talismans, and then we are ready for Stormveil. So back to Altus. This is the first time that we're going to use a sleep pot just to make something completely free. With Gambit, this line is completely safe. These guys will not aggro. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk in, take like 2 steps, and throw a sleep pot. It's important to wait until she's done with this animation and starts the sleep animation. Then we can just termination. Termination. So that is one of our allotted pots for the run. Okay, and we got one of our second best talisman, and now we're going to Saint's Bridge to get our best talisman. I like to jump on here and then jump over, just to make sure I'm over the Spirit Spring. Carefully drop down. Thanks, Water. All right, then I go right to here. If you want to take more than one gambit, you can, but this is the only gambit you need until we get to the boss. So we go up to kind of this smooth part here, and then run back. Look, gold eyes, and then just run past. Since you have the beast torch, that is a scripted aggro. That's why it attacks like that. But otherwise, he's not actually going to attack. This is a Grand Fomorian strat. You just run off, block, and then jump. Hey, Soul. All right, so I know this is. I think first heard this from Lang. But if you gambit entering into here and you follow this path, he will not wake up until you are right next to him. So we gambit, we walk in, go to the right, we go through this doorway, around this, and see he's not awake yet. So we can charge R2, block cancel, charge R2, take the riposte, and he's dead. All right, now we are off to Stormveil. Or Stormveil, rather. All right, so it's important to sit here before we go in. Let's level up. Whatever we have does not matter. Again, levels do not matter on this run. Everything is scripted at R01. We don't need it. So those are the three things we do. Gambit, and let's make our way. So what are we at? About 45 minutes? 46:31. Okay. I'm kind of explaining things, so it might be going a little bit slower. All right. Take all this stuff off. Put on our 2 fingers heirloom so that we can cast Flame Grant Me Strength. And what we're going to do is absolutely massacre this boss. Recharged R2s. Sorry, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to prepare for our run through Stormvale.
Smoldering with thy flame. Cower in fear of the night. It's time. The guards you'll breach the... Well, but of course.
Go over there so it causes the gates to open. Then we're going to sit here. We're going to make it nighttime. And we're going to level up. Alright, so I have a very specific way that I do the Stormvale running section. It's been very, very consistent. You start off with gambiting outside. And you can run until we get to this tree. Just before the tree, you're going to want to start crouching. And then come up here. Just run through. The line there will not aggro. Make your way to the Grace. Again, I don't think you even need Godric's Great Rune on this. You could just level to 15 Faith and still have enough damage. I like to gambit at these halberd guys because back in the day when we used to run through here with no gambit or with at daytime, the ballista might be able to track it. But I was able to get hit there. We're gonna grab the Trina's Lily. We can just run behind these guys. So my lineup for this is I stand right next to this tree. I gambit, get out the bow. I go just left of like the center of the ballista and up. Throw 1 kukri. When I zoom back in, I make sure that he moved. Go down there, throw another one. And then we run up into the cubby, wait for the explosion, and then we're running up the left side and we are hugging the left so that these guys don't aggro. Don't see us. Grab the kukri, come up. Gambit again here. And we're home free. That's been my lineup for a while now. It is making sure that the guy gets up from the first ballista is, I think, probably the main mistake people make. And then the other mistake is trying to go to the right because you're kind of going in between where all of them like want to see you. I am going to show a Godric strat that makes it basically scripted as long as we get some good RNG. You can, and we will actually RNG farm for this. Because if you don't want to mess around with Godric, you're on a marathon run where you are this far out, and you need to get a win, then we're going to just do things the easiest way possible. Kukri's there. Angie, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome in. We're not going to sit here. We're just going to grab this. And let's heal up. Drink up. Buff up. Do all the buffs outside. I'm going to explain the strat after I do it just to make sure nothing goes wrong. Perfect. Not perfect. Not perfect. He didn't sleep. He didn't do the wind attack. So we're just going to try again. No need to risk it. Same idea. Wait for his attack, run away. Perfect. You just walk in, you do 3 tap R2s, and then he is transitioned. And then you can just do R1s just to keep the poise up. Like that. No danger. You just can be patient.
We'll return together,
We did use our extra sleep pot.
bathed in rays of gold.
We shouldn't need it anymore. No Limgrave Tower Bridge. You wish you knew that before? Yeah, it's pretty good, right? So our levels might be slightly off, but again, what have I been saying? Levels do not matter on this. We do so much damage. I do like gambiting before running out here. It actually does cause the golem on the left to wake up slightly later than what it normally does. And that way he doesn't even come close to getting to us while we're running over this way. Without Gambit, it is a little closer. Still not really dangerous, but can be. And I just kind of go here. I try to aim it just for fun, so it hits the tree. You can see it suspended in midair. The game within the game. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I think I got too far away during the first attempt there. So with Godric out of the way, our first real boss is going to be like gold free. Oh, I just popped the remembrance here. Let's check our time. 54 minutes. Not bad. Oh, let's grab Godric's Great Rune, which gives us 5 extra stats to 5 extra levels in each stat, rather, and make our way to Radon. Chamber outside the plaza. All right, let's level up. Yep, we're going to be a little bit off on our levels because we used some. Equip the Great Rune. Let's go destroy a man on a horse.
have aligned. The festival.
Okay, so for Radon,
Before we
we're gonna bait out a specific opener. We're gonna do a charge R2 while the first attack is happening, and then we're gonna stay under him doing just R1s. People seem to not like doing R1s with the iron balls. I don't really understand that. Because they still do quite a bit of damage. It's 2 hits, and it keeps poise up. Doesn't take very long at all. And then we're gonna do charge R2s from there and stagger him. We're gonna kill him before he can fly away. All right, we enter in and we immediately sprint on port backwards. Go around that pile of junk. And I look for like this little clearing here where there's nothing as my starting spot to do the buffs. I like to do little circles. So charge R2, then stay under him. R1. Oh, we got a little lucky there. And we obliterate. I got a little bit of bad positioning there, but since I wasn't doing like charge R2s, I was able to kind of readjust myself in time and roll. All right, we're gonna grab this grace and then go to so when I do the little circles, he tends to give me the correct opener. It keeps like the space. It helps me get into like the right distance for him to do that opening move. That's why I do the little circles. I don't know if it does always help, but it feels like it does. All right, so then we go back here, we grab our talisman pouch, and now we are off to the capital. Yeah, I seem to get it more often than not, so like well more often than not, so it's just something that I've been able to do. I think it's a distance thing that causes him to do it. Right, we're gonna equip our gambit, our bow, and then the source. So we are at 58 minutes entering the capital. I do maybe a little bit of a different run through capital than a lot of people, but I found it to be a lot more efficient and completely safe after learning what not to do. No capital skip. No, we're not doing any skips here. I'm even going across the frozen lake, which I hadn't done in years. Go ahead and grab this rune, because we have a perfect spot and where to pop it, so might as well. Drop down here, and I go this way. So I re-gambit here, jump across to here, across the roof here with gambit. Hey, Pelicans. All right, we're going to grab this rune, and this is what we're going to do here. So I go to this pillar, I gambit, take out the bow with my kukris ready. We're going to bring this guy in. We're going to throw a kukri at this wall. Now, this avatar has a very, very weird fracking. He actually has some, if you turn on like boss aggro, like he actually has some of it that's behind him after he ports in. So what I do is I just walk up behind him to make sure that that part is done before starting to sprint down and grab the grace. Important to gambit before running down there so that that archer doesn't see you. This guy you just run past. Grab that. And make your way up Grand Sacks. It's mostly for Baryon, but I was gonna post it if people want to see like a meta route. Then I'll have a reference, and also just to put some of my ideas down in recording. I kind of just take a little bit of a wide path there. The guy that's into the on the left, it's a scripted aggro. He doesn't actually see us though, so if you just keep running, no threats. All right, time for the only boss that we have to fight from start to finish. Very sad. All right, I like to go to that spot, or about right there, and re-gambit. Again, another boss that I don't know why people are so obsessed with having to get like a charged R2. All R1s is just fine. You won't run out of stamina. You'll be able to dodge everything. You'll be able to kill him pretty quick. All right, let's heal up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run in and run to the right to give us some space. I don't like being stuck in this little area here. So run in, run to the right, see if we can bait out this attack. See? What's so bad about R1s? At no point did I look at my stamina bar. Just completely... It feels so easy. I know people like getting staggers and everything like that, but I feel like that's a great spot just to do some R1s. I did do a tap R2 at the start, but mostly R1s. Okay, so for this enemy, we just run up the side here. When we get here, we crouch and start walking. And we just go right in there, and we kind of hug the left, look back, make sure, and we're good. All right, let's level up again. 50. I think we're actually right back on track. Equip our last talisman. All right, we're going to want... This is, again, where we're going to use some sleep pods. I'll show you why. Again, we're going to make this completely free. Buff again. Make sure to drink, get shackle ready, and go in. Yeah, you'll see. Yeah. All right, so we do shackle, recharge our twos. Swap to our sleep pots, charge our 2. Run away. 2 sleep pots. So that we can avoid the poop on the floor. Then he sleep staggers afterwards. Can't do a thing. Easy. So we are done with Morgoth at an hour 5. Works pretty well, doesn't it, Pelicans? Tell me you didn't like that.
Allow me, you are unprevented. The thorn, a husk, the only way.
So we're a little bit slower than before, but I'm kind of trying to explain this, and we did bone out of Godric once just to make sure we show the strat and show that you can RNG farm for that. Okay. Now you're gonna have to listen to me yap for a little bit because we're making our run up to Fire Giant. Again, just run back through here. This is kind of interesting. So he ports back in and he thinks that we're at close range. So a lot of times he'll do a close range attack. Watch. See? It is not enough to kill him, no, Miro. And this is where another one of these sections where I don't think people understand like how powerful. I feel like people do not give Gambit the credit it deserves. Because we can literally just run by all these enemies. All right, we're going to take the lift. And while the lift is going, it is the perfect amount of time to pop all of these runes. We don't even need these. Just the big ones. And we take a step off and we're done. So again, we used to like kukri and kill all these guys. If you just gambit at the top here, and then I just kind of run at the feet of this guy, they will never hit you. Should never hit you. I'll never say never. Yes, you can do that, Pelicans. That is a way to do it. But if you're not precise, then you might have to fight some of it. So I didn't want anybody to fight Morgon on this run. It's okay, we got a long running section here. And I'm still explaining things that as I'm doing them. So when I'm on this elevator, I always check the time of day. Make sure that it is in fact night, just to confirm. And that will determine a bit of our path up here, because the Knights Cavalry will be active. We're gonna hop off here, we're gonna gambit here. And we're gonna jump down and we're gonna kind of hug the right side as we're going up. And the Knights Cav, as you can see, is just to our left. I just showed you why, Pelicans. You don't need to. Okay, and I'm going to show you this path through here, and I'm going to show you why you don't have to look back, but if you want to look back, you can. But I'm going to show you why by looking back and showing you what's happening. So we're going to go close enough to the Black Blade Kindred that he cues a melee attack. Do you see? He's just wasted all that time doing that, and now he cannot get close enough to us. Keep watching. He is so far away. That's why we do that path. Because Accusa melee attack takes him too long to recover from it to get into range to scream at him. Nope, wanting to get him to do an attack. All right, we're gonna grab this Grace because we're gonna grab our next bell bearing to be able to get the iron balls to plus 18. And then we're going to go straight to round table. And level up. We got to go turn in the bell bearing. What are we at? 111. Okay. $12 and $12.
Those elves shan't find them well.
I didn't hear the melee attack when I'm listening for it, and if I don't hear it, then I'll turn around. I didn't want to go here. I should have just done it then. Oh well. After you level up your weapon, just go back to Zammer Ruins. I'm sorry, Pelicans. All right, here's a little trick I learned. I'm pretty sure it was the first person I saw do it was Nuclear Pasta Tom. But as you're running behind this guy, if you do a quick attack, he will turn around as you're going by, and then there's no risk of him doing a ranged attack on you. We don't want Gambit on this. Because we want him to aggro at a specific time. We're just going to run through here. I found this to be a little bit of a safety thing, is to kind of path this way and then right to put some room between yourself and the golem, just in case. I have seen people get hit like running up this way by the arrow, so we want to avoid that. Okay, so the next strat, we're getting across this lake, and it to be safer. I remember when I was first working on like my first any percent, I actually was hitless up to this lake when I was crossing it, and the dragon did the fly and landed straight on top of me. Usually I will take the invisible bridge and just do the jump there, but since we're not doing any skips, we're just doing safe stuff. We're going to show you the way to make it so that the dragon spawns in the same spot, and then we just run in the opposite direction. So we're going towards this area over here. And as we kind of get close to the rocks on the right, you're going to hear him spawn in, and he's going to spawn in straight ahead of us. And then we're just going to turn and go back to the right. Like that. And now he is stuck on the other side of that rock from us. And we head straight south. So if you're looking at the compass, we're heading to the south. And I'll show you where he is once, so the fog will clear here in a second, and you'll be able to see across the lake. We turn around. You can see he's just now getting around that rock. Much better. I don't know who figured out that strat, but that's a pretty cool. Obviously takes a little bit longer, but again, we are thinking marathon last game type safety strats. Yep, exactly, Miro. What are we at? 115. Usually, Fire Giant to the end is about 20 minutes. Poison Bone Darts, I don't even know where they are. Alright, so I Gambit there. Don't really need to, but you can, because you can just, with Gambit, you can just walk, you run right straight by that guy without it. He aggroes, but can't do anything. Pick up those runes, why not? Pop them. Oh, really? So we hop over the first set of rocks, then we go around the right on the second, because there is a hand that's close by there. We do not need to aggro those. So a hand will drop here. Just come up here. Stop. Turn around this way. Nice, Meowster. All right, we're gonna grab the ancient smithing dragonstone, or whatever it's called. Whatever it'll get us to plus 25 here in a bit. And then show you the Fire Giant strat that I'm pretty happy with if we pull it off. All right, let's level up. We're just getting to 79. Oh, I don't want Gambit. Did not mean to Gambit there. Go ahead and take these off. Correct, Pelicans. Yeah. All right, I like to pop the flask here. And then go right here and then start buffing. I want him to, oops. I want him to start walking at us. And this way, we always get the same, like a consistent opener. He'll do the avalanche most of the time. And then he will always do this. Charge R2. Charge R2. Charge R2. Jump R2. Sleep pot, sleep pot. Reapply Cragblade. Drink. Get your sleep pots ready. Charge R2. Charge R2. Okay. Now we're gonna rebuff with Flame Grant Me Strength. Charge R2, charge R2, and then you'll see the rest. One of our buffs just wore off. That is a completely scripted fire giant. Thank you, thank you. No. I didn't try just charge R2ing the head because I just wanted it to be nice and easy. Gives us a huge punish window, and it gives us another stagger if we needed it. If for some reason our buffs wore off, we were too slow or something.
I have long observed the lands between.
I think you probably
this
could,
world and
Miro,
are you to
but
commit?
yeah,
Very let my hand.
no reason. We should have 4 sleep pots left, which is the exact number we need for the rest of the run. What are we at? Hour 21. Yeah, I'm a little slow. Oops. Didn't mean that. I do think people should just do this jump all the way down here. Don't bother trying to land on those. I've lost runs past Fire Giant by falling off there. I think just jumping down is just... Alright, so my run through here, I try to hit both of these candles, and then that guy never aggroes. I don't know why, but it's just that path always works. Just gonna show you this. You don't have to run through the legs here. This dragon has no hitbox when it lands, and it's a more direct route. So you end up using like all your stamina anyway, so more direct route is a little bit better. I think I saw Doc do this pathing through here on his saxophone run, and I liked it so much I started doing it as well. So Gambit, crouch, and then just hug the wall. Then just head to this pillar, jump over. Drop down, Gambit again. I did weirdly take off the sleep pots. All right. All right, so we gambit. Enter the fight. Take 3 back steps. Full height. 1, 2. Buff. And we're not going to mess around. We're just going to do 2 cycle. Recharged R2s. Riposte. Walk up. Charged R2. Charged R2. 2. And charge R2. Charge R2. Gambit again. Run to the back. Okay, we got Skinny. Again, just 2 left. So 1, 2, 3. No need to buff. Re-equip the beast torch. Hit the pillar, look down to make sure the guy heard it. No. Regambit here. I don't think you necessarily need to. But I believe it helps keep the guy from shooting lightning at you up to the left. Alright, we used all of our Trina's lilies. No moss. Alright, we're going to level up here. Alright, so for this section, you drop down. As soon as you get down here, crouch. You get to the edge, jump over. And watch for lightning in the bushes. One arrow. Make sure it hits. Will cause him to fly away. Re-gambit. Drop down. Crouch. Charge R2. Stay crouched. And run through. It should. It should forecast where it's going to strike. One thing I kind of found that's kind of fun here is if you throw a kukri kind of at that body, it should attract the one beastman that's in our way. So gambit here. Let's go around and look. Yep, see? He went down to inspect. And I like to just crouch walk across this because I hate this. Gambit, walk in. That triggers them. Throw a kukri at the wall. And then you can kind of just wait for that guy to be out of the way. And go. All right, we are done with the beast torch. We are done with the bow. We are done with kukris. Grab this in case we need a bone out. I didn't need to game it there. So 129. So we probably have about 10 minutes left in the run total. So yeah, it's just going to be just under 140 with maybe right at 140 with a bone out of Godric just to get the script. I'm gonna get a little... I mean, this is technically a live run. We haven't been hit yet.
Thou who approacheth destined death will not
I think I only got one hit there. All right, now we want all of his poise to go away. Should be enough. All right, we're gonna backstep, run in, charge R2, block cancel, charge R2. I was a little low on damage, so I just did a quick tap R2 there. Yeah, I was a little low on damage there. I should have done a charge R2 after the poise break.
to kill what?
I didn't get it. All right, we're gonna level up. No on pace. All right, 79. So we are done with damage. So now we're going to guarantee the 2-shot. Oh, you know why my damage was off? Is because I didn't level up to plus 25. So normally you would level to plus 25 after... What's it called? I actually can't do it now. That sucks. And that's the run. Yep. So I spent all my runes.
Who are you? Oh, now.
I don't know where it is.
Who are you? Oh, now.
I'm just gonna drop the iron balls. Iron ball plus 25. Just to finish it out. Yeah, I was supposed to go level after. After, when we go to the bird section is when I'm supposed to go and level the iron balls. So, that was just a little bit of a mistake. All good. Yeah, that sucks. That wrecks our time too. That was a plus 18 Malekith, yeah. I was wondering why the damage was so low. Nope, standard is what we want. Standard is higher damage. You're right. Yeah, but it just I think we would be at like 77 instead. So I can change that. It shouldn't matter though. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so that was just a little bit of a mistake. But it is what it is. We would have had plenty of levels. It's okay. All right, so we're just gonna go determination.
The Elden Ring. To become Elden Lord. What a sad state of affairs. Your spirit was alas.
Oh no, Barry, I hope everything's okay.
A tarnished cannot become a lord.
Blank, thank you for gifting a sub to Barry on this. Very nice.
A man cannot kill
Hope everything's okay, Barry.
a god.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you a bit of a weird way of fighting fighting poor Lou here. It is gonna involve not doing Frag Blade, Flame Grant Me Strength, or Golden Bow. Multiple jars of pasta sauce and white shoes. Oh no. Good luck, Barian. Okay. So I'll show you how this works. All R1s. Should work. We'll see. Just the flask. Nice whip. It just perfectly sets up the stagger. Every whiff, attack, and then kill.
Tarnished. Thy strength.
What are we at? 137. So, yeah. Bit disappointing. Just throw everything into endurance you have left. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, it's great, right? And then Radagon Elden Beast. Did they? I'm glad. just insane. It's just not fair. There you go. One little cock up. Didn't get hit, but messed up the weapon leveling. Hey Skip, good to see you. Um, every time I like 139. Let's end the recording.